Hello nerds! Thank you once again for watching Generally Nerdy. This is your week in Nerdom, and we're switching things up this week. I'm gonna break this video into 5 videos and post one a day, so I've got something to be posting all week. The video you're watching now is the TV portion of your week in Nerdom for the week, and in TV news we have supernatural stuff that we're gonna be talking about, Krypton. The WATCHMEN is in TV news for some reason. Let's talk about all of these things right after this sequence of intro.
Generally Nerdy.
Inhumans. Ming-Na Wen is not in the show Inhumans. She is on the show Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And she might have just slipped at a convention, the Heroes and Villains Fest in San Jose. That, maybe it's already been canceled. Not that we're surprised, because it was crap to begin with. So yeah, that's really interesting. Supernatural. This is the big one for TV this week. Actually, no, this is the second biggest one. We'll keep the third biggest one until the end. So, Jensen Ackles' wife is going to be a regular on the show as of episode 13 for this season. So, after the mid-season break. That's not the big news about it, though. The big news is the CW is trying to do another spin-off series. Called The Wayward Sisters. We're going to get a backdoor pilot for it, like they tried before with, there was Supernatural Bloodlines, I think was what they tried to call it before. Yes. Anyway, so it was that one was not very well done. It was like mafia with monsters and hunters and just very strange. Set in Chicago. That happened in season 9. This will happen on episode 10, so also after the mid-season break. It'll air on January 18th, and it's going to revolve around Claire. For those of you that are not up to date on your Supernatural or just don't remember who the hell Claire is the daughter, Claire Novak. Is the daughter of Jimmy Novak. Jimmy Novak is the host in which Castiel lives. So the face of Castiel is not actually Castiel. The face is a guy named Jimmy. Castiel is the angel inhabiting his body. And that's been a whole thing, and she was a werewolf for a second, and then she was junkie, kind of, and just, I don't know, a whole lot of random weird stuff has happened revolving around Claire, all because she has daddy issues, because she felt abandoned, because he wanted to be, he opened himself up to be inhabited by an angel, and now he's Castiel. So, it sounds like a more solid premise, because it's basically supernatural with girls instead of boys. So yeah, I don't know. I'm definitely going to watch it because Supernatural is great. Hopefully they can kind of hit the mark a little better with this one this time, and yeah, we won't have to ignore it. Krypton is coming. We finally have a trailer for it, and it looks good. SyFy is actually sounds like they're cleaning up their act because they also have Happy with Christopher Maloney and Patton Oswalt doing the voice of his imaginary friend. I don't know a whole lot about Happy. I do know Grant Morrison has something to do with it, so that can't be bad. And also, according to Grant Morrison, as of episode 4, I believe he said, we'll start to get a whole lot of depth out of that show Happy. But we're talking about Krypton, and the 22 seconds of trailer look promising. I'm reserving any more judgment on it, because before I was calling that it was not going to be great. Now it looks like it definitely has potential to be great. Okay. Next is Black Mirror. I'm stupid. it's December 29th, not the 14th, I think is what I said last time. So yeah, Black Mirror, December 29th. I'm correcting myself. There you go. Game of Thrones. We're not going to see Game of Thrones until 2019. We're also not going to see Stranger Things again until 2019. This sucks. According to Sophie Turner, the planned airing date of the final season of Game of Thrones is still over a year out. That's ridiculous. And then also, according to David Harbour, aka Chief of Police Hopper in the Stranger Things world, we're not going to get Stranger Things Season 3 until 2019 as well. So, yeah, 2018 is not going to be great for TV, apparently. And then, something really, really interesting. I don't know how cool it's going to be, but it's a very interesting plan. Netflix is trying to devise a way to do choose your own adventure style TV show. It is going to be mature themed, is all that they really have said. But if you are as old as I am, which is kind of old, not that old, but kind of, then you'll remember back in the day, it was kind of a big thing to have a choose your own adventure book. And the books were always bad. Like, there was not a good choose your own adventure book that I read. And I read a few of them. Even the Goosebumps books, and I was a big fan of Goosebumps. They were crap, man. Because they were still only like 400 pages, 350 pages. But you had like these multiple endings, and then like you get to the end of a chapter and it says, if you want to go this way, head to page 34. If you want to go that way, head to page 50. So because you had these different storylines and it was still only 350 pages, you don't get the full fleshing out of one story because you have 3 or 4 different stories that are being told. There were some of them that were readable, mostly though they kind of sucked. And hopefully Netflix can circumvent that, because it would be really, really cool to be able to watch an episode of a show and then go, oh wow, that was great. And then I wonder what would have happened if the characters would have gone this way instead of that way. Then you can go back and rewatch the same episode, or the entire same season, and get a completely different story. So, crossing fingers, it turns out well, but as far as we know, based on the books at least, it's not going to do that well. And that is the last bit of TV news. Let me double check. No! I'm full of crap. The Watchmen. Watchmen is coming to HBO. Maybe. They paid for a pilot episode, and they paid for some other scripts, but not filming of those scripts just yet until they get their pilot. That's not the most bizarre thing. I think the most bizarre bit of this story is that potentially John Cena is going to play Dr. Manhattan. Weird. I am not opposed to John Cena as an actor. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that part of it. Now, the other thing is, it's going to be on HBO, so they can get away with a lot. So, are they going to do all of the before Watchmen stuff? Are they going to do any of the stuff after Watchmen that we're getting now with Doomsday Clock and so on and so forth? And Alan Moore is definitely not going to put his name on it, so that is not really a question. But it's just really interesting to think of where, what is going to entail a Watchmen TV show. At the very least, we will get all of the side stories and all of the subplots and stuff that they had to leave out of the movie for time. Even the director's cut, or the extended complete edition or whatever, the 4-hour version of it, is still not everything that happened in the comic. So, yeah, I'm very, very interested to see what happens. But that now is the end of your TV news video. I thank you guys again very, very much for watching your week in Nerddom right here on Generally Nerdy. I am Generally Nerdy, and you can find me at generallynerdy.net. You can find me on Patreon, if you want to help support the things that I do here, patreon.com/generally nerdy. On Instagram, at generally nerdy, all one word. On Twitter, at generally_nerdy. Facebook, generally nerdy, or generally nerdy photo. Just go to the website. It's the easiest way to find me. Go to the Patreon. Help me keep making this wonderful content for all of you fantastic nerds out there. There is going to be some new stuff on the channel soon, so definitely keep your eyes peeled for that. I'm going to try and start what I'm going to call what was the name that I had? Nerdy House. Yeah, I can't remember. Nerdy. It's the cooking stuff and just general things around nerd life and things like that. So, that being said, thank you again for watching. I do have to remind you guys always remember that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here.